Well, hello there, everybody. And could I also know what category won?
Good ending.
Okie dokie. So we don't let our friends die. Hooray. Haha.
How kind.
But yes, hello, everyone. I am Abbiescorner. You can call me Abby. And with me, I have the person responsible for getting me into this very video game, Umbrellajill, a fantastic Illbleed runner. And I also have the person who generated the first meme in my channel based on this video game, PippyInATopHat.
Oh, I'm so glad that's my claim to fame. Hi, y'all.
Yes. And we are here to bring you a game that only exists on the Sega Dreamcast. I'm wearing my Sega Dreamcast shirt. I couldn't get an Illbleed t-shirt in time. I'm sorry. But yeah, this game came out in 2001. And let me just say, should be in Sonic blocks and Sonic events in the near future. But you will see why in just a moment. And also, hello to the Japanese Restream team. And because this game, or this event is also having a Japanese Restream, I'm going to count down in Japanese for the beginning of the run. So, 3, 2, 1, start. So,
Good luck, good luck.
the way this game works, the story behind it is that there are a bunch of high school students. Theme park that offers $100 million is like, if you can get through this park, you can get $100 million. And it's like, okay. So her friends go, and Erica's just like, nah, none of this adds up. It's been a few days since her friends have been around, so we're here in the park to go find them and save them. And let me just say, this game is absolutely brutal. So that is also a thing. Casually, be prepared to die a lot. Now, the patterns are always random. There's an A pattern, a B pattern, and a C pattern, and also horror monitors and pickupable items are not randomized. However, we won't be picking up a lot of the pickupable items in the levels. Also, permanent health upgrades stay in your inventory forever until they are used. We do not pick up any in any of the runs. We are on A. How do we know we're on A? The sight is going off. If smell was going off, it would be B or C. If the smell was continuing to go off after you tag the door, it would have been B, and if it's clear, it's C. C is the best pattern for this level. On A, we're going to let the shower hit us because it is faster to do so, and then we're going to continue going. All right.
Yeah. So each level has 3 different patterns, like Abby was saying, and you need to pick up a horror monitor, which will let you be able to monitor your senses, and then you can use your senses to try to find traps in the game. Abby, may I recommend picking up the stake and the what's the other thing in the locker up here? Safety strats.
Safety strats. Yes.
Safety strats.
It should be noted that they are different in the versions as well. I'm playing the Japanese version because I may have discovered that the Japanese version will give you more optimal patterns more often, as well as often together. There was one run where I had 4 of the best patterns you can have out of the 5 levels that have patterns. But also all the healing items are different. It is a stake in the English version, as Jill mentioned. There's actually another full heal right here.
Yes.
And then we're going to tag the guillotine, because who wants to get hit by a guillotine, am I right? Also, you may have noticed that I picked up a bat, as well as this testimonial. These are key items for the level. If you miss a key item, you do have to go back for it, and because we're skipping so many traps, they are still active. So unless you know the level backwards, did I mention this game's brutal?
Just a bit.
So that's a thing.
Yeah.
We have to tag the bottles on A.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that we have to tag the bottles on A, whereas B and C have ways to get around the bottles. We also have to tag the door up here because it will bite us if we don't, doing quite a bit of damage. However, we will have enough time to grab the gauze under the stairs, which is the medium bleeding healing item. Bleeding is most likely how you're going to die, because it will start reducing your HP and your heart rate, and if your heart rate hits 0, you die. Also, we're going to perform a glitch here where we fall through the wall to avoid a very annoying fight. And as I mentioned, the gauze that are behind the stairs. Ta-da!
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't get chair skip on A because you can do it, but it'll kill you. Because you'll get hit by steel beams, pushed back into this fight, which is not the greatest. Also, don't ask me
like
how
Abby
a
mentioned,
helicopter's
there's a way to
inside.
skip this fight. Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, this
Yeah,
game has fighting mechanics. Fighting
Yes.
mechanics.
There we go.
Whenever you see the sixth sense on the top of the horror monitor, it either means that you're near a fight or you're near an item to pick up, which is a funny little way that the game messes with you. So you have to try to guess which is it going to be.
And then after the second broken light, we can tag that light. If you stick to the right on A, you avoid all the traps because they're all on B. And then we have this fine fellow who's going to try to hit me with a wrench and also kicks, because of course he is. And we have avoided. Make sure to stick to the right because the final door on the left is a trap. It's a giant eyeball that scares you. Luckily, all it does is increases your heart rate, but still, it's a bit of a time loss because traps are often unskippable cutscenes. Some are longer than others. Now we're down here in the baseball diamond. The story for this level is that the boss's level, whose name is Gale Banbelow, or as I like to call him Bambi, because I thought his name was Bambelow and not Banbelow. And basically his inn burned down, he lost his son, and he took revenge on the people who burned down his inn. So we do the little baseball minigame. You want to make sure that he's firing at first before coming over here, because that way you have more time to call it down. Then immediately double dodge so that he gets more off of the H so that you can call the ladder down. The more on the helipad you are, the faster-ish that the helicopter will drop its ladder. Now we're going to play some risky strats. I call this extreme game of chicken because he's coming right out over there, and it can cause a bit of time loss if you get caught, because if he catches you, you get into a fight encounter like you just saw, and we're also going to take lefts every time we can take a left. So here we go. This game really likes you taking lefts.
You would notice anytime you do bump into him at this point in the game, he has infinite health. So even if you do try to attack him, you won't be able to damage him at this point. And what Abby just did there, you can pull up the map when there's an enemy chasing you, and what it does is it just pauses their animation and makes it a little bit easier to get past them.
And there's our first friend, Kevin. Oh yes, we'll be using it a lot later on in the run, because we'll be being chased by much faster enemies. So Kevin is the first friend we have to save. It takes a long time for Kevin to die. You have to wait 15 minutes inside the level for him to die. So the only time we let him die is in the true ending, because we need all our friends to die in that one. But we actually use Kevin in the runs as well. So that is another thing. So here we go, waiting for him to turn. And we have survived his maze. So we will be going into the fight where he won't have infinite health, and it's flamethrower versus baseball bat. So I'm going to try to get him into what I like to call the counter hit loop. Every time he bounces back, you've hit him with a counter hit, so you have to readjust your movement because you want to stick to his right shoulder / the gas can, because it's his blind spot, so he can't hit you, but you can just sit here and wail on him. We didn't quite get the loop, though we did get a lot of counter hits.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And then we have Kevin, and
Kevin, he's taking a nap.
who is voiced by Sonic Adventure 2 Sonic. Erico is actually voiced by Rouge from 2001 to 2004. There's actually quite a bit of Sonic crossover in terms of the voice acting, but there's another far bigger Sonic reference in this game coming up towards the end. So now we have
This
Giant
is just the
Bambelow.
teaser.
Giant Bambalo will kill you if he hits you 3 times. So you want to be very careful. Also, the game becomes a really bad platformer all of a sudden.
Yeah. The platforming's really spicy. There is a dodge mechanic that Abby's using here as well to try to avoid some of the hits here. You can dodge during all the encounters in the game. Also, since this is considered an encounter during the game, you cannot heal for this entire segment here, so you have to be very careful.
As I'm not being very careful. All right, there we go. Oh, I didn't quite get the run across. There we go. Ah!
You got it, Abby.
So yeah, when you try to open the menu, that's what happens. You just get a giant pause screen. So you have to wait until after the fight. Luckily, we made it through the platforming section. And then skipping a bunch of cutscenes and 3 baseball bat strikes. And Bambalo is dealt with. Grab this gentleman's ID card and run back the way we came. I'm going to try to not heal until we're at the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Until basically death is certain. Usually I can make it to the keypad, which is where I need to open the menu anyway. But you'll notice that my health is dropping ever so slightly as the bleeding meter is rising. The brain is
the red
adrenaline.
flashing is bleeding.
The brain is adrenaline, which is for tagging traps. And I don't actually know if heart rate does anything outside of if you go too high, you flatline. Eriko actually has the best heart rate out of any of the characters in the game. Each dodge she does costs 2, whereas Kevin will cost 4. And I believe she can also go up to 220 before flatlining, I do believe. So here we go.
If your bleeding gets too high, your heart rate will start to drop. And if your heart rate drops to 0, you can also die that way.
Yeah.
The game is just looking for creative ways to kill you at every turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And then
You
to
won a
make
prize, Abby.
Wow.
yes,
Wow, you didn't have to use that. Was so good. No healing. Let's go.
yeah. I'm going to pick up some healing items for this level, though, just as a precaution. I didn't do it the first time, but there is a lot of healing items in the first level. The only thing I'm going to pick up are a couple gauze and then go on our merry way, because we're switching to Kevin, because Kevin has an advantage, and that's that male characters jump faster, further, and more controlled. However, if Kevin gets into an encounter, he squirms around for a good 15, maybe 30 seconds. I have yet to time it, unfortunately. But that's his disadvantage. Male characters also have slower melee attacks, so for levels that we use melee attacks, we use Eriko.
Yes.
The level order is Home Run of Death, Worm Queen's Revenge, Wood Puppets, Killer Department Store, Killer Man, and then Toy Hunter. We want to use Eriko in Wood Puppets and Killer Department Store, and then Kevin in the final 2 levels, and whoever you pick in the final level is who you are facing the final boss against. So our horror monitor has been stolen by evil monkeys, because of course it has. So,
Jerks.
with that being done, there are no traps in this level. There is something that you can pick up where it'll show you where every item is. There is an Amazon somewhere deep in this level, but we're not going to grab it. We want to stick to the left side in order to avoid evil monkey encounter number 1. We have successfully done so. That's what the 6th sense going off is. There are 2 evil monkey fights that we have to avoid, and then the 3rd evil monkey fight to save Michelle. What we're going to do is we're going to save our friends, Michelle and Randy. We are then going to need to save Jorg, who is not our friend, but still needs to be saved for the ending. And then,
Yeah.
but we're going to let him die and buy him back because it is cheaper to do so because he is so out of the way. So we have avoided the most dangerous, annoying worm in this level. And so we're just going to keep running because that one can be a bit tricky. Because you can't see him and he'll often catch you. The other ones, not so much. Continue going to the right, and then we're going to stay on the side with science. because that's where the safe zones are. So here we go. This guy's gonna be a jerk. There we go. Luckily, I was able to catch that. Keep going. Careful. Because again, you never know where the worms are gonna be, so you're like, ah. So here
I've had them literally spawn under my feet before.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Unfortunately, map pausing has no advantage against the worms. That's another thing, because I did try that at one point, and it was like, no. So here we go with Evil Monkey Encounter number 2. We want to stay away from the sides with signs. We have successfully passed Evil Monkey Encounter number 2 as we run. This is the hardest part of the level. Also, Worm Queen's Revenge is the shortest level in the game. So isn't that convenient? You also can't choose the order you play the levels in. And now we have to bait out a worm because this one likes to be a jerk. So here we go. He's coming this way. Fantastic. No worms. The hard part is done. Now get ready for some platforming as we do some parkour on some cars.
I was hoping we would see more platforming.
Yeah, the best part of this game.
Oh, yes. Also, we're going to see some parodies of like Godzilla and other movies like The House of Lightning as we see it here. So now we grab the baby bottle, and somehow this baby bottle unlocks the store door. Don't ask me how. This game is very silly for a horror game, but it's great.
This game certainly has a plot. It definitely makes sense.
Yeah,
So-
each level has its own contained story.
So we have skipped the cutscene. You may have noticed that it started late, and that's because there is a hitbox for it that you can avoid, but I can only usually get it one way or the other, not both, unfortunately. And now we're going to stick on the right side because of zombies with guns. You will die from this encounter if you get hit by it,
They're pretty
because the arena is so small. And so you're most likely going to get hit at least once. And then you're going to start bleeding, as I call it. That's what happens when you have your bleeding meter, and moving causes your bleed meter to go up. Be very careful when grabbing the wrench, because there is a permanent health upgrade right next to it, which is very dangerous. All right. Actually, this would be a good time for donations, because all I'm doing is running back. So if there's any donations or anything you would like to plug, feel free to.
Perfect. I got a couple donations for you. The first one is a $10 donation from Exterior Emma that says, "Cool. Go Abby."
Very nice.
The next one is a $10 donation from Schmumbler that says, "I'm so ill with anticipation that my brain might bleed." Good luck, Abby.
Oh no.
You might want to get that checked out.
The next one is a $35 donation from JPEG that says, "I am a simple fatale. I see BigScared in Abbiescorner. I donate. Much love to the whole Flame Fatales fam."
Yay.
Do we have time for one more?
Thanks.
Yes.
A $30 donation from Cece that says, "Illbleed is a true spectacle, and Abby is amazing for memorizing multiple patterns for each level. Good luck. P.S. In the spirit of Illbleed, I have tied the incentive."
Yay. So we knocked down all those signs to create platforms, because you might notice all this dirt. You touch that dirt, you summon Rachel with infinite health, and you have to escape from her, and like I said, Kevin will squirm. And in addition to that, she will send you all the way back to the beginning of the car section. It's not fun.
It's very punishing.
Yes.
And you're about to meet Rachel.
Yes. Fun fact, there is a fellow speedrunner named Rambo Rachel, and she comes into the stream every once in a while, and she will be like, "Oh, hey, it's me." And I'm like, no. So right now, we're getting counter hits. One thing about counter hits, bosses do not need to die by counter hits. It's regular enemies that die by counter hit. So next level is when we really start bringing in supplies. If you're looking to get a top time, you don't bring in supplies for the first 2 levels. But this one, very much yes. Or very much no. So it's kind of a hit or miss thing. So if you start bleeding, it's basically a reset. especially if you're bleeding. If you're bleeding a little bit, you should be fine, but once you're bleeding, it's like, oh no. So right now, we're just, barbecuing some worm. And next pop-up should be death. Sometimes she can die fast, sometimes she can die slow. That should actually be death. The rare killing while she's swooping. Very nice. So we grab the gas
That was
canister.
pretty clean, yeah.
Yep.
And then we're going to go grab Michelle. Fun fact, Michelle, Mary the Doll, and Erico are all voiced by the same actress. There are not multiple female actresses in this game. So we just walk in here, evil monkey fight number 3, and they'll eventually die, and then Michelle will be saved, and then we run back to the car. Very good.
Cool.
Unfortunately, Kevin says, all right, there's only one cool, and that's
know.
Erico. It's very sad.
I know.
I don't know
Kevin's
if Michelle...
strats are faster, but I do like Erico better because she has a much more fun voice.
Yes. So we
Yeah.
didn't lose any money, which is good. We're actually going to have a lot of money. By the end of it, we should have more than enough to buy Jorg after Killer Man, and have plenty of leftover. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to head out. And we're going to say goodbye to Kevin for a while and say hello to Erico. And I hope you're ready for that tree with a mustache fight, chat, because it's time for the level with the tree with a mustache.
Quick shoutouts to this song. This song is great.
Yes. So we pick Erico. And hopefully we don't get A. We want B for this level. B is the optimal pattern for this level. It goes C for Home Run of Death, B for Wood Puppets, B for Killer Department Store, and then C. And then I don't remember which pattern is which in Killer or in Toy Hunter. We're on A. Sad. But I just know what to do, which is why I never finished the guide I was making. I'm sorry, everybody. So we're on the worst pattern. Now, you might be asking, why is it the worst pattern? Because we're going to have to go through a gauntlet of woodsmen. And we have to fight all 3 of them on A. C and B, we only have to fight 2 of them, but C is weaker because we have to get through a wood puppet fight. But there is no wood puppet fight here. Interesting that a trap is not going off. Interesting that a trap didn't go off.
Is it the ceiling?
No, it was the box right next to the puddle of blood that usually goes off on A. So that's why I'm a little confused. Tag those windows just in case. Oh, getting hit by the chainsaws. Hooray. Sometimes
Now
that
it's casual
happens.
chainsaw.
Yep, casual chainsaw. Tag everything.
It's
'cause
always really dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're gonna get a lot of cool happening here.
Cool.
The cool corner.
Yeah. Excellent. And also I'm bleeding. Now you may notice that little blue chip there. We didn't go over the blue chip. When your bleeding passes the blue chip, Erico's hitbox becomes... Oh, I'm not on... Oh, I am on C. That's why I was confused, because I'm on the wrong pattern that I thought I was on. I just went straight
happens.
into A mode, but we're in C mode. My bad, everybody.
That means we're not on the suboptimal pattern anymore. Huzzah.
So I'm just gonna heal that and keep going. For some reason my button wasn't working, and that was very mean of it. As we continue going down. Also, shoutouts to Zokubun, who you heard earlier. She's a really big fan of this game, told me some secrets about it, and I will bring up the secrets that she has told me soon. So here's our first regular enemy. You must counter hit for him to die. Counter hits, of course, do more damage. Regular attacks still damage, they just don't die. Go.
Yeah, you can exceed his hit points, but until you do a counter hit, he won't die.
Yes.
And you can tell you're counter hitting him because his head will do a little wiggle.
Yeah, all enemies do a different animation when they're counter hitted. The worms will wiggle as you saw Rachel doing. Again, the woodsman will wiggle. So we're going to try to wait here till after I get to the part that I mentioned where we put the log in. So wide turn here in order to avoid the first trap. Very good. Not bad. Stick to the left because all the encounters are on the right. Tag this because the wood puppet fight. Oh, we're gonna
grab the brain.
I don't know where. I thought I passed the brain. I don't know where the brain is.
It's in those boxes behind this fight, but there's also another encounter that you can risk hitting as well.
Oh, yeah, we're not gonna go get the brain. I'm not risking it. Plus, the game doesn't care. So, here is the differences between the North American version and the Japanese version, as I just heal up there. So, in the English version, we need to spell wood. But in the Japanese version, we spell higoroshi, which is Japanese play on death. So 1564. So hito, 1, go, 5, ro, 6, and then shi, 4. All right. And it's the second light on C. So now that I know my pattern, we shouldn't get hit by anything. Keyword is should. That doesn't mean we will succeed.
You've been so spot on. I wasn't even paying attention when you said A at the beginning. I was like, okay, it's probably A.
Yeah, if anybody is interested in running this game, you have a high constitution, first of all. But second of all, there is nothing stopping you from having notes to remind you of what all the patterns are, so you don't have to do it just completely on the fly. All of the patterns do have like very consistent spots that will trap and not trap.
Yes.
Yeah, I run the game using note cards to remind myself where the traps are. I don't have them all memorized. It's about an hour and a half long run, and you almost have to memorize the entire game 3 times.
Yeah, I can't do notes, and so I don't have any. I know. Wall of shame.
I mean, it's really impressive to be able to memorize it all.
Yeah.
And like different things work for different runners, and yeah,
exactly.
You can find what works best for you.
All right. So before we get into the Woodsman Maze, is there any donations or anything by chance?
Yes, I've got a couple donations for you. The first one is a $5 donation from LLK that says, "What's your favorite Illbleed level? The baseball dungeon? The chainsaw museum? The store that sells $5,000 hats? The worm gas station? The Danganronpa movie starring Pepsi Man? Toy Story?" Thank you so much. We also have a $125 donation from Nazarian that says, "How can we not see Titan Souls run in the most formal of wear? Enjoying this Flame Fatales event. Best of luck to all the runners throughout this event." Now, chat, don't forget, we do have that open incentive for Titan Souls, which will task Ruby Heart with wearing formal wear during her all boss rush run. We are just a little bit over halfway to that $2,000 goal, so if you want to see that happen, please get your donations in as soon as possible and put them towards that incentive.
So right now we're doing the map pause, playing game of chicken here because we want him as close as possible so that the other ones don't spawn in. The way Jill and I do this is actually 7 seconds faster than the other path. I timed it out because I was curious. The other path will put you closer to the Woodalls but it has a lot more twists and turns, as well as having to deal with the lumberjacks a bit more. By the way, I will slip back and forth between woodsman and lumberjack. Apologies. So we grab the wood dolls, and then we run over to the tree.
Which level is your favorite, Abby?
What is my favorite level? Pippy, what's your favorite level?
Well, if you give the list of levels that person gave, then clearly my favorite level is the one that sells $5,000 hats. Like, that's just some quality hats right there.
Yeah.
Rude.
If that's our criteria.
That is fair.
It's a good level.
Despite how much of a walking sim it is, I kind of like Killer Man because it's a murder mystery.
Killer Man is very
that's my favorite too.
It's got very fun twists on the gameplay.
Also, you can fall off this platform, so do be a little careful when going across here, because you may have been noticing the lumberjacks running behind, and it's like, oh no. So you can fall off there. The Sixth Sense up here is an item grab. I don't know what the item does because it's not one that's sold in the stores, and it looks like a gourd. So, yeah, I don't know what it does. So now...
Would you like a gourd?
I think it heals one of the stats, but then it hurts one of the other ones, so I don't use them.
So this fun guy right here, he can actually knock himself off the stage, which would be nice. Oh, good, I was able to pass him. I thought he was going to hit me for sure. You can kind of hear his footsteps. I usually generally try to pause right as he shows up or right as they show up on screen. No. And then I usually pause on the stairs, but given that he's right there, I have a superstition where they run faster on stairs. I don't know if that's true.
The stairs. Yeah, it's sketch. I don't know why, but it is.
Well,
this segment
Punchy
really shows you. Oh, sorry.
Discovered that when you start going down the stairs, Eriko is actually in the air for a second, so the map won't open until she's back on the ground. Part of the stairs. All right, so now we have to fight these two gentlemen. Remember that fight that we clipped through a wall for? We would be fighting this. These guys are annoying.
The one positive note is that they can damage each other.
Yes, which is nice.
But this is how we save our friend Randy.
Go. Bad. Cool. Save Randy.
He has also been turned into a wood puppet here.
Yes. And then we leave. Woohoo.
We love that despite being made of wood, you can bleed.
Yes.
Of course.
It wouldn't be Illbleed without it.
It's just something I don't want to... Yeah,
no
it's just
further
something
questions.
I don't really want to think too much more about. Like...
Right. Also, that's the other thing. When it comes to the hitbox being increased, it doesn't seem to affect chases. It only seems to affect traps. So now we have the wood puppet gauntlet, or the woodsman gauntlet, as I call it. Don't ask me why they sound like elephants. They just sound like elephants.
I never noticed that.
I noticed it a lot, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they sound like elephants for some unknown reason. So we're just dominating with T-poses. That's how we do. There is another attack, but it doesn't allow us to move while attacking, so that's why I use the domination spin, because it's like, well, I can move around him, so it makes it harder for him to hit me. Yes. So here we go, next fight. There we go. Spin! And get hit.
Yeah, we've been turned into wood puppets. It's this subplot in this level where there's like a giant killer tree that's basically been turning people into wood puppets, and then there are these lumberjacks that try to kill us. Mm-hmm. Each level has its own interesting little side story.
Oh, right. I lied and remembered that I was on C and not A. I thought I was on A. I apologize. We only did 2 of those fights. Oops.
Right.
And then we go into the Wood Puppet Iron Maiden to become Human Eriko again. We stop our bleeding as much as possible. Unfortunately, we're still bleeding by 19, meaning we're going to bleed. Hopefully, I don't get hit too much in the boss fight so that we can make it out of here alive. Because, fun fact, if you die as a character, you restart the level as the other character from the very beginning. We don't want Kevin in this level. So, 1, 2. And I immediately screwed up by trying to hit him a 3rd time. Dodge. 1, 2, 3. So every time it's 3 and then 2. 2, 3. And like I said, mustache. 2,
He's a very dapper tree gentleman.
2, 3.
Yeah, when he does the swiping attack, it gives you enough time for 3 hits. When he does the puke attack, it gives you enough time for 2 hits in between. If you're playing as Kevin, you don't have enough time for 3 hits, though, when he does the swipe, because Kevin has slower melee attacks, like Abby said.
Fun fact, you cannot trade hits. He won't die unless you have, hit him after an attack. Okay, so I think we're gonna be good. We should be good. I have a lot of room here. But here's how the level tries to get you, because there is a long exit in quite a few levels. So that is a thing. But we should make this no problem. If there are any donations, now would be a good time.
Fantastic. I have a couple for you. First up, I have a $50 donation from Sir Brosif saying, showing some clock tower love. Good luck to Abby on the run. And shout out to our wonderful host, BigScared, as well. Thank you, Brosif. We have a $25 donation from Super Gilfer saying, speedrunning could always use more dapperness. And of course, that is going towards the Titan Souls incentive. And then we have a couple quick other ones for the Titan Souls incentive. $50 from Eris Lockhart saying, been a long time since I've been able to donate, but I want to help that formal wear incentive for Titan Souls. And $100 from Liz 31415 saying, Flame Fatales was my first speedrun marathon I watched last year. And after a year, I'm trying to decide if I want to pick up a speedrun myself. Thanks for the entertainment and donating to see that Titan Souls run done in formal wear. Chat, we are at 1,200 towards 2,000, just under $800 away. So if you want to see Ruby Heart run Titan Souls in formal wear, make sure you get those donations in as soon as possible and put them towards that incentive. We also have open bid wars for Signalis endings and costumes. So you can stack that with your Titan Souls and get your donation to max.
Okay, so you may have noticed that we got paid at the very beginning of the level. That's because this level has a gimmick. And that is that you need $200,000 to complete it, because there's a section that's locked behind a $2,000 paywall. So, or a $200,000 paywall, my apologies. So, every trap in the level will take money from you if it hits you. Like we see here, as I accidentally didn't tag the right thing. So, turn. Also, you may have noticed that I picked up something called a caution bomb. Caution bombs are fun. They're free tags. So, I generally use it in this hallway. Also, I believe we're on C. I believe.
Yes, it's C. Yeah, C.
There we go. And there's going to be nothingness, which means I can just walk on through. And then we have the cans. Whatever can it is on this side, it's the opposite on the other. So it's the green can, and then it's going to be the coffee can. Also, you may have noticed that I pick up a severed head. There is a reason for that. But first, we need to tag up here so we can grab the weapon. Now, in the English version, they call it a hatchet. It looks more like a cleaver to me. Also, this level has the worst fight in the entire game. It's absolutely terrible. So there we go. And then we continue. And the reason we picked up the severed head is because Hellcake here wants it for some reason. So we give it to him.
It's his cake topper.
Aw, cute.
Hellcake wants to be dapper too.
Everybody wants to be dapper.
Yeah.
I'm all here for formal wear, but that's an interesting choice, I must say.
And then we pick up 3 pieces of meat. No more, no less. There we go. And then if it's on C, we want straight up the middle. There we go. If it was B, it'd be the entire back row, and if it was A, it would be the left row.
I don't know if it was pointed out earlier, but you did mention that like tagging traps is costing adrenaline, but like tagging the correct traps gets it back. So you can't just run around tagging literally everything.
Right.
It incentivizes you to know the route. Mean cockroach, by the way.
Yes.
Really rude.
Hey, Pippy, do you remember what the percentile for both of these to go away?
Oh my god, it's like 7.2 or something like that for all of them?
Yes, well, it's 7, but yeah.
It's 7? I just threw on 0.2 to be fancy, apparently.
But yes, it's a 7% chance for them both to go away. They both decided to hit me, how rude. And the reason we need the third piece of chicken or meat is because we have to fight it inside here. Now be very careful when leaving here, because if you go back towards the chef and fall off, you have to go back out and grab another one. It's really dumb, but it's the rules.
Them's the rules.
And now we fully heal because the worst fight in the game is coming up just after this room. So, couple of things need to be tagged. Jump up on here because there's worms that'll sometimes be like, oh, hello. So we're going to tag the onion. And then we're going to move past the onion. If it was A, it'd be the first pile of goo, B, the second pile of goo, C, the third pile of goo. And since we're on C, we want that third pile of goo, so we're going to go get that third pile of goo.
My favorite pile of goo.
But before that...
Also, side note.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. About the adrenaline. Another way you can recover your adrenaline is by doing, like, the encounters. If you actually fight the enemies instead of running away, you get back some adrenaline that way as well.
Yes. And then
so
we
if you're completely out in a level, you can find some encounters.
And now it's time for the worst fight in the game. And you might be asking yourselves, why is it the worst fight in the game? Well, allow me to show you. Because it's not just one. It's not just 2. It's 3 regular enemies that you have to fight back to back. And they like to cover for each other. And they all have to die by counter hit.
It's real easy to just keep getting hit by them over and over.
Yes, as also Eriko's dodges are trash.
And the range on this weapon is really confusing, especially with this camera angle. It makes it really hard to tell how far you are away from the enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate, though, all the signage in the background that says just water. Remember to hydrate, everyone.
Yes.
The game's really nice and reminds us.
But don't hydrate with chemical water, just the regular water.
Yeah, no, just the regular stuff.
Okay, so we've got 1 death, 2 deaths. Obviously, the fight becomes easier as they die. I could not get a run yesterday during practice because these worms kept being jerks. You also want them to be dying close together because there's something else we forgot to mention, but I'll mention it once we win here. Provided this worm wants to play nice and let me counter hit it.
Worm.
If ever be so kind. Oh, it was really far away.
Really close, nice.
Yes. And that is because of orbs. You wanted them to die. You wanted them to die closely together so that the orbs hit you a bit faster. There we go.
Them's the worms, baby.
Yes. And now we go into Toy World or Kids World. I always call it Toy World because there's a bunch of toys, but it's called Kid World or Kids World. You need $200,000. We entered this before we even got paid by this level. We had $200,000. So here we go. Because we're on C, we want to tag, just double tag. It's sometimes easier just to double tag. So we're going to tag that. Then we're going to go into the middle. There's nothing in the middle. Only B has the middle traps. And then here we go. So it's the ray gun. Be careful because the UFO is active. And Pippi, it is your own kind. Because for people that don't know, Pippi is not actually a human. She's a sentient top hat that someone left on a desk.
Yeah, that's me.
So lots of top hats that cost $9,000, as you can see.
It's my friends.
Hey, isn't that your uncle?
I think so. I think one of those was also my cousin, maybe? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been to a family gathering.
Nice.
And then, of course, we're going to have evil Dreamcasts. Beware the dream, or I'm sorry, the Mega Dreams.
Mega Dream.
It's the second Mega Dream. It's always the second Mega Dream on C. There we go. I believe it's the first Mega Dream on B. And never trust the baseballs, chat. Never, ever. There we go.
Never trust a baseball.
And then we're going to see something for later on, and we will bring that up later. But here we have a standee of Cork, and he will crush us. We don't want that, so we're just gonna go. But more on Cork later. Actually, I think nope, that's not what I wanted to grab. That is also not what I wanted to grab. I thought there was a Mary doll right here, but apparently not. So I just screwed up majorly because now there's going to be a permanent health upgrade sitting in our inventory forever. Yay for screwing up inventory. But here we are in Mary's maze. The longer we stay in the maze, the more damage we take. We are constantly taking damage just for being in here. It's a very bad time. So we grab the blue. And I don't know if we want to call these pieces of a key or 4 different keys. So
They join together at the end.
yes.
I feel like they're a big jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, the one that I don't know if it's a jigsaw puzzle because they're not.
Yeah.
They're pretty regular shapes. They're just kind of
I don't know.
you put them together and they make a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's Mary. Very spooky, very scary. I'm actually going to let her move one more time. There we go. And then I'm going to pause you forever and ever because you're very fast. And unlike every other encounter where we can call a helipad and escape, no, you have to fight Mary to the death each time she catches you. So then we're going to go into the green section for a moment and then into the pink section. Keep going straight. And remember how I said the game loves you taking lefts? We're taking those lefts. There we go.
Yeah, Mary can cause a lot of bleeding with that knife that she's holding.
Yes, indeed. Killed quite a few runs.
Yes.
Also, we just witnessed her despawn there. Sometimes she'll just despawn for no reason. It depends where she is. We shouldn't actually run into her anymore because she tends to stop once that despawn happens. But you don't want to sit around and wait because, again, we're still taking damage. And there's the green one. And all 4 have been grabbed, and we can get out of here like last year.
What happened last year?
I don't know. I started playing this game for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. So as you see, the permanent health upgrade just sits there in the inventory now, and the only way to get rid of it is to use it, which is rather unfortunate, because there's no way to drop items.
We'll
That's
just
okay,
take it
though.
along for the ride.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a buddy.
So now we have to play hide and seek with Mary. And since we're on C, she's in the glasses. If it was A, she'd be in the keyboard. And if it was on B, she'd be in the fridge. I'm going to heal here just as a precaution because you never know how much damage she's going to do. So we're going to do that. And then Ta-da. I consider Mary the boss because of how we actually deal with the boss. So here's a couple of things that I do in the Mary fight. I don't move. I just swing. This is actually a pretty great start.
Yeah, this is nice.
Should be dead shortly. Because that's the thing, right? She moves very quickly, so it's just like, I'm just going to swing and wait. And there we go, we won.
Nice.
But now, chat, I'm so sorry, but I hope nobody played Mario Party 1 and 2, because it's that time once again to relive the repression of your memories of dealing with a certain minigame in that game, because it's time for a little segment I like to call Mario Party Repressed Memories.
Makes it sound like a horror game.
I'm scared.
So here we go. We got to do some jump rope.
Who doesn't
And-
love mini games?
Of
course, as-
fun and easy.
As Pippy informed me during a practice run, apparently this gives her Hamtaro game repressed
Yup.
memories.
It is true. I think it was the Rainbow Rescue has a really brutal jump rope mini game.
And there we go. We survived.
Perfect.
Very nice.
Yeah. It speeds up each time, and then the last time it goes back to the first speed, the slow speed, just to confuse you.
I'd also like to point out, though, in the Hamtaro jump rope minigame, they did not put big spiky things on the jump rope. That would have been disturbing.
I remember the first time I showed Pippy that, she came in and she was like, "That is violent!" And it's like, yes.
Can I cut in real
If you get hit
quick?
by it, she bleeds a lot.
Yes.
We have an incentive update. We are rapidly approaching the cutoff time for the formal wear incentive for the Titan Souls run, which is our next run. We're just over $700 away from meeting that. So if y'all want to see it happen, please get those donations in as soon as possible and put them towards that incentive.
Speaking of donations, is there any donations while I ram this spider's head into the wall?
Yes, absolutely. I've got a $5 donation from Randy's brain. It says, Abby, how can you just leave me behind like that?
Abby.
Not cool.
Not cool.
Not cool.
I've also got a $25 donation from Pangolin saying, you need a reason to wear formal wear?
Yeah, that is pretty foreign to me as well.
Yeah, the best formal wear we can envision is the formal wear that exists as Pippy the Top Hat and also as the challenge for our next run. So let's make that happen, folks.
Y'all, I'm gonna be lonely if Ruby's not also wearing formal wear.
Yeah.
So, just
Now
a
who's
thought.
ready to figure out who Killer Man is? Chat, does anybody have any ideas of who Killer Man could be? We have.
I wasn't ready. I was jamming to the music. Sorry.
We will have 5 options to choose from. But yes, we choose Kevin here. It's a giant walking sim. We're behind the
Is
scenes.
Kevin Killer Man?
He could be, because that is an option. That do be
Abby.
an option.
No.
What?
No, you're playing as Kevin, so you said it could be Kevin. I'm like, Abby.
Are we gonna have to start a poll for who is Killer Man?
You could, yeah. But yeah, you can choose who you want to say Killer Man is at one point in the level.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has
Because
some creative options too. I think my favorite is Killer Man is Killer Man. Duh. Truism.
Yes.
Is that truism? I think so. I think that's called a
spoilers,
truism.
that is the actual answer, but because we don't save Jorg, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have to save Jorg for it to matter, but we're not doing that. So here we go, just running through the level, and here's our man Jason, who unfortunately
Jason!
we're short one Killer Man doll. Sad. And then we
Hi,
have
Jason.
Cunningham and Jorg. Fun fact, Jorg is named after his voice actor, who has only ever done one role, and it was Jorg. So that
It's got
is
a perfect
thing.
all I needed
record
to
so
do.
far. Yeah.
Yeah. That was it. Retired. Perfect roll.
So here we go, running on through. And then we need to find out what pattern we're on. Hopefully it's not B. B is the worst. C is the best. A is the second best. We are not
I like
on
A.
C. The reason that A is the best, or that C is the best, is because there's no traps in the morgue. This is A. If it was C, the last thing would have gone off, but it did not, sadly. But luckily, there's only one trap in A, 2 traps in B inside the morgue, so we're pretty good. Again, I say that X trap is the best, but that's because it's like, well, if you want optimal, I was going to say optimality, but I don't think that's a word.
It can be if we want it
is
to
now.
be. Yeah.
And here we
Trademark
go. You want to stick to the right here because of the egg fight. The egg fight is very dangerous. It's 2 eggs that try to roll over and destroy you, and it's very bad. So we're going to tag. If it was B, it would have been the UFOs over there. Very important to tag right here because it's another Mary fight in a very small arena. But by tagging the fight, she just stands there and we can just call for the ladder and be very, very safe about it.
Of note with these fights where we're calling the helicopter, there is no other kind of escape. It's just a narrow escape.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always narrow.
I decided to get hit by that. By the way, traps from each level will still do their thing, so traps that were in the last level will still take money from you, etc., etc. So, yeah. And then we got the popcorn that's going to fall on us. We don't want the popcorn to hit us. And then I don't know where that 6th sense turns off, so I usually tag the candies here. It's the other candy. So all that's going to happen is we're going to get scared. One thing is that Kevin's heart rate goes up super, super, super big. And again, he has less heart rate than Erico, so he will flatline faster. But luckily, we're through the hardest part of the level. Pick up the shotgun.
There's a
And
lot
then-
of traps in that room.
Yeah. There is an Amazon. There's actually 2 Amazons in this level, believe it or not. It's the only level that I'm aware of that has 2. So here we go.
An Amazon is an item that you can pick up in the game which will fully heal all your stats.
Yes. We used it back in Home Run of Death. Also, here's the thing that Kevin can do. He can just jump up on the stairs. Erico can't do that. For whatever reason. That's just a bit of swag. I don't know if it's actually faster to do that or not, but it's just a thing I do. Also, the 6th sense that's going off there is the axe, because you can pick up the axe from the lumberjack, but we're not going to do so. So we just keep running. We have to run all the way back to the start of the level because Jorg is there, and Jorg's going to be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I really wish there was a way to skip this, because literally, it's such a nuisance just running all the way back here.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to find a skip, go for it. We're waiting.
So someone was asking what the other categories are. There's the good ending, the bad ending, and just the true ending, which is the New Game Plus run, right? It's just
Yeah.
the 3 endings.
With bad ending, we always save Kevin because again it takes 15 minutes. Plus we use Kevin in the same levels. True ending, you have to let all your friends die because technically Erico goes back to Illbleed, so I guess they're not really there. True ending, honestly, for reasons that I'm not going to go into, will never be featured on a marathon ever because of those reasons. So here we go, 0824. There we go. Also, it has...
Wow, spoilers.
It also has a much more difficult final boss than the other 2 endings as well. But I shall not spoil here. There we go. Good. because the machines only goes off on B, so we're pretty good. There we go. All right. I'm going to actually heal my adrenaline here. I just have enough to do a couple of tags, and I probably wouldn't need to, but just to be safe.
I've actually run out of adrenaline in this level before. It's really easy to run out here.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many traps.
So because we're on C, it's going to be the middle pillar. If it was A, it'd be the last pillar, and B, it would be the pillar I just passed. It's a bunch of cockroaches. Oh, wait, I lied. It was... What pattern am I on? Am I secretly on A?
You're on A. You're on A. Yeah, it's this one.
Okay, so okay, I'm on C, right? No, I'm on
And then
A.
make sure you tag this last vending machine because I think it does that bright light.
Yeah, I usually double tag here because I never know which one it is exactly. So, double tag, and then there isn't anything for the rest of A after the machines, and it's the last machine or mainframe. I think they're mainframes, server maintenance. You know,
the last one.
Simple things. So
yeah, people were bringing up Blue Stinger. This was made by the same people that did Blue Stinger. There is like a dog's teaser in one of the... I can't remember which pattern it is, where you see dog fall out of one of the like ceiling areas.
It's all of them. It's just in a different spot.
All of them? Okay. Yeah. And then
and also
in the toy level, there's like a little dog's game with him on the cover.
And there's also the Hassie, which is in both games. And also the final boss we'll be selecting is from Blue Stinger as well.
Oh, yep. We're going to fight a Bull Stinger for the final boss, spoiler.
Yes. And you would get the second Amazon just down here, but not going to pick it up because we don't need it.
Hot take, Abby is really good at this game and doesn't need all the safety stuff. Whoa.
There we go. Jason is the only one to survive Killer Man's attacks on employees. Because he's a good guy. We go up here. Sometimes this wants to be finished. Come on. There we go. Excellent. Also, shoutouts to Critique Quartz, who was on the couch for the last run. She is very, very knowledgeable in the ways of Illbleed. So, if anyone in the studio is looking for their Illbleed knowledge, or their Illbleed fix, Critique is the one to go to.
They're time for a couple quick donations.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I've got a $20 donation from Edward Malice that says, Illbleed, what a game. That's all I have to say. And $25 from Uncle Gramps that says, this run is killer. Also, formal wear, heck yeah. Just a quick update on the Titan Souls challenge. The formal wear is less than $500 away. We are so close. This closes out at the end of this run. So if you want to see Ruby Heart run in formal wear, make sure you get those donations in as soon as possible and put them towards this incentive.
I decided to pick the player as Killer Man, so we are Killer Man.
Abby, you're Killer Man?
Abby,
why did you kill all those people?
Abby.
I said
Why didn't
Kevin.
you tell me?
I
Why
said
didn't you tell
Kevin.
me?
So
Are we accessories?
Well, now we are.
So in the Japanese version, there's no music playing here, but in the American version, there would be music. So yeah, that's a thing. And then here is the final trap of the level. Oh, go on. Yes.
No, I was just gonna say I don't actually know why. Do you know why it is like that?
No, I have not a clue. It might be that the
weird
North
option.
American version is version like 1.01 maybe or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there's also because there's also a Taiwanese version and a Russian version. No European version, which is very strange considering Europe still got Dreamcast games till like 2003. But for whatever reason, it did not come out here. or come out there. So York gets kidnapped here. Oh no. Very, very sad.
No.
Also
Everyone
very
say
slow
bye. Bye,
zombies.
York.
We don't like York anyway.
Sometimes the zombies like lunge at me. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, sometimes they'll be super fast, but most of the time they're like really slow. Because also, like I said, the differences between the versions. The different versions seem to want to give you certain patterns more often. The Japanese version likes to give you like the worst possible pattern, but also the best possible pattern a lot. Whereas the North American version, for example, on Home Run of Death, really likes B and C, whereas the Japanese version will like A and C kind of thing. And like I said, there was that one run where I had 4 of the best possible patterns out of the 5 levels that have patterns. So, I don't know if there's like major changes or not, or what happened. I also don't know who owns this game at this point, because both the American publisher went out of business, the Japanese developer, Crazy Games, went out of business. So it's like, who owns the video game? This game almost came out on the Xbox in 2005, but was sadly canceled. So I'm wondering if Sega has this somewhere locked in a vault, but I don't know.
Sega Illbleed remaster when?
Right? So we're going to go.
A lot of people have asked for it. Well, maybe not.
A lot being like
encounter.
the
I
entirety
encounter
of
a
the
lot of
speedrunning community wants a re-release.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
Hey, if Clock Tower for the Super Famicom is getting a
This
remaster,
is a fair point. This is yes.
maybe they'll do an Illbleed. Maybe.
Also,
If Abby can be Killer Man and speedrun at the same time, anything is possible.
yeah, and hey, so the entirety of the speedrunning community for Illbleed might not be enough people to get Sega's attention yet, but hear me out. We can make
Pippy's
that
gonna learn
number
the game.
go big. Okay. I see. Well, that is the easiest solution, isn't it? Okay.
Sorry, I had to.
Become one of us, Pippi. Do it.
Oh, I'm being enlisted.
I have some really
So-
exciting news, real quick.
Oh.
It's not an Illbleed remaster, but we did just hit $15,000 from a Lala fund.
Yo.
Let's go.
Go.
We are less than $400 away from meeting the formal wear incentive, so keep those donations rolling, folks.
Yes.
We love to hear it.
There's still a whole level in this game, so I think we can get there.
I have faith in chat.
We can do it.
Chat, y'all are amazing. But
So here we go.
Less than 3.
Music is all of a sudden just gonna pop back in, by the way, once we enter the fight. So typically when he does that star attack, I just trade with him because it's very difficult to dodge. We technically want him either doing that swipe attack that he just did, him laughing, or doing the that. And then just keep going around in a circle shooting him. I like how he bled after the shot. He like worked away and then decided to bleed.
Yeah.
Pardon the terrible joke, but he was like, I'll bleed.
I was gonna say blood works in mysterious ways in this game.
I actually, I don't recall the answer to this, so I have a question for y'all runners. You know, to take notes for when I inevitably run this game, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
So I know we picked Kevin for the trade-off between movement versus melee attacks. Is there any difference at all between the ranged attacks? Because Kevin does use the ranged. So as long as we have a ranged weapon, we don't have a downside to Kevin. But
Nope. Range weapons are the same between all characters,
very
which is
nice.
why we use Kevin. He just has faster dodges and jumps and stuff.
Yeah.
doesn't know how to just wield a hatchet. I wonder, like, I thought everybody had to do that on a daily basis.
Gonna bring 4 just in case. We still have enough to buy Yorg, by the way. So, fun fact about Quark coming up here, or Inda, as he's known in the Japanese version, but the Japanese version gets the best of both worlds because, again, game is English dub. Quark will take on the properties of whoever you choose. So if you pick Eriko, she gets male movement, but her jumps, or if Quark gets caught, he'll just rise up immediately. Whereas if you do Kevin, he'll do the squirming. So yeah.
So we want maximum squirm %, right?
I guess so.
Let's go.
There we go.
Yeah, there's
Right,
not
perfect.
too many encounters in this level. It's not too bad.
There is
As long
one.
as you tag the encounters first, then
Yeah.
you're good.
Pick that up. Oh no, Wrenchman. One of the few fights where Kevin doesn't get scared for not tagging a fight.
Yeah.
Ow. Sir. This is not Bioshock. We do not want to get hit by a wrench. Thank you.
Do we want to do that in Bioshock?
Well, we hit things with a wrench in that one. So now that
I've
we
never
have,
played it.
it's a really good game. It's the best game from 2007.
It's very specific. I can't think of any games that came out in 2007, so I believe you.
All right, so we now have story cutscenes. Story cutscenes are unskippable cutscenes, so we want to tag them. Also, hello, train.
I don't know if that got picked up for stream, but yes, I do live next to a train station.
Yeah, this level is a little bit different than the other ones because instead of some of the scares, you have these story segments, and if you get hit by them without tagging them, you have to sit through lengthy cutscenes sometimes. And so
Yes.
you really want to make sure you tag them or avoid them for this level.
Yeah, there's actually 3 in the room with that Mary doll, but we don't see 2 of them. So we tag that because that kind of sets up the story for the level, which is that Quark's owner has unfortunately passed away, and one of Quark's very good friends has been taken to Toy Hell. So Quark is trying to get into Toy Hell to save his friend. But there is something very mysterious, spoilers, that wants to block his path.
Is this a C, I think?
I wouldn't know what pattern name it is. I just know what to do. This level is very weird for me because I don't know
Yeah.
what
The start of
pattern
it's a little confusing. Yeah.
I just know, like, once things are tagged, where I want to go, kind of thing. There was a little hint of what's
Yeah.
trying to stop us.
That foot was blue.
Yeah.
It's a very
I've
good
seen
color
something like that.
for a or maybe a leg. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ringing any bells?
Very interesting. I wonder who it could be.
Killer Man?
It was Killer Man.
But wait, we were Killer Man. So how can it be Killer Man if we were Killer Man?
Abby, you're trying to stop Quark.
Oh no, I missed another trap. This will happen from time to time. Luckily, that was only a scare. There we go, the important one that damages us. And not Evil Monkey Fight yet. Oh, there's the fireball that's going to hit me, which I thought I tagged, but apparently not. Don't know what I tagged then.
Yeah, as I'm sure y'all have noticed, it can be a little bit fun to figure out what actually has been tagged, since it just kind of floats like an orb in the general vicinity. So even if you have all of your route memorized or written down perfectly, sometimes it's just like, but I thought.
Game, can you please let the helicopter fall? Thank you. Sometimes the
This
game
must
likes to be mean.
B.
Oh All right, let me heal and heal. Those two are the important ones on Kevin for now. And then we tag
I'd
the
also
stairs.
like to draw attention to in your item menu that that the items are interesting in this game. One of those items was a relaxation CD
Yes.
in the middle of an amusement park. Just it's 2001.
Just listen to it.
Pop
Put in
out
your
your
Discman.
like, yeah. Pop out your Discman.
It
put on
is
some big
the
old
one
headphones.
healing item that is the same between versions. Ah, crap. Okay, so this is what the squirm looks like.
You're
Come
just
on.
demonstrating.
And these are what
Apparently.
the zombies with guns look like.
Yes, as they continually hit me. Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no. Oh no. This might be becoming a bad ending here, folks. Okay, I
We
made
got
it out alive.
there. Woo!
Oh no.
Everybody
We might-
remember to break out your personal relaxation CD to deal with the heart palpitations from that narrow escape. Truly.
Okay. There we go. And then we turn.
Also
Okay.
in the vein of the voice acting, we also got to hear the best over here line read in the game, which is the fun
Over here.
yeah, cowboy line read. Ooh.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. Typically, I try to avoid that fight. There is a way you can walk a line to avoid it, but it really depends on your pattern. Luckily, we're also not bleeding. Otherwise, that could have been a lot more dangerous. Luckily,
There is
traps
a,
are almost done.
There's an operating room at the when you get to the toy jail too.
Yeah.
You can heal there, I think.
Yes. Whoops. There we go. It's right in here. What a fantastic idea to heal right
Yeah,
now. Just in
Yeah,
case.
so yeah.
Nope, that's the wrong thing. No, that was the right thing. Whoops. I'm bad. Okay, we want this and we want that. Thank you. Oh, no, yes, and then okay. Luckily, we had enough money left over from purchasing Yorick back. And now
It's
we
like
don't have to worry.
nothing ever happened.
Yeah,
Right.
if we wouldn't have skipped the cutscenes, you end up fighting some eggs and you kill some eggs in the egg bar. So now we're in jail for killing the eggs.
Yes.
I just
that's where
really
we're at in the story.
appreciated that sentence, Jill.
That's where we're at in the story so far in this level.
All right, and then it should be right here. Excellent. And then we need to tag there. Yep. And right there as well, just in case. Better to
Hey,
be safe
lovely
than sorry.
Baytals viewers at home, can I get a yup in the chat? Thanks.
Yup.
Also, any donations by chance?
Yes, I have a couple donations for you. The first one is a $50 donation from Patrick that says, I really like your stream. Have fun, and let's go for the next challenge on Titan Souls. Don't forget, we are rapidly approaching the cutoff for the Titan Soul incentive. We are a little bit over $300 away. And to quote our next donor, $25 from Heldon Sobret, don't forget that your donations towards the formal wear incentive will also help us unlock the bonus game of Fear at the end of the night. So let's get formal wear, let's get Fear, and let's get more Flame Fatales. Keep it up, chat.
Go. So that's Potodon. You might notice that he's a very similar color scheme to a certain movie character from 1995. Of course, legally distinct parody. Here we go. And there are but 2 traps left in the entire level. Oh, yes.
Shoutouts to my favorite character, Wiggling Gas Can.
He's so cute.
He's adorable.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Yeah, you have to, so for the gas can, you have to tag the gas can to avoid the story cutscene, but then you also have to remember to click on him again to get the gas can, which I have forgotten to do so many times. I just tag the cutscene and then run away and then forget the gas, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
There we go. Run as fast as you can. There we
There's
go.
some sort of plot going on in this area about freeing toys and doing favors for those in toy jail. Plot.
Yes, plot.
Well, right now we're in toy jail and we're being executed for the execute. Oh my god, there's a pun there, isn't there? I've been tricked into saying a pun. No, I'm sweating. I'm
so
sweating.
sorry.
I'm sweating now. I'm sweating now.
Unfortunately, Cork was given wrong information on how to get to Toy Hell, so Potodon saves him from the execution, and that's why we're in the sewer system. And if you don't tag that story cutscene, you will end up in the sewer instead of having to jump down the hole yourself. But we just tagged the final trap of the level. We're now on our way to the very special boss fight that'll convince every Sonic event organizer that this game deserves a spot in a Sonic marathon of some sort. Trust me, chat.
Come on, your Sonic Marathon does need a horror block.
It shall happen. I shall convince you all. So we take a wide turn here to avoid an egg fight. It's very weird how doing that will just avoid it. There
That
we go.
fight's pretty. The hitbox is odd.
Yes. And then Potodon chip into the new Potodon. And things happened. And we continue on into Toy Hell, where we meet the ruler of Toy Hell. Also, we find the true form of a beloved video game character that you will clearly see. Chat, viewers at home, viewers in the studio, etc. Allow me to introduce to you the true form of Sonic the Hedgehog, Zodic the Hellhog. Yes, this is this is the true form of the blue hedgehog that we all know and love.
And as
He
we all
stole
know,
our girlfriend.
as we all know, this is a Dreamcast game, so thus it's made by Sega, and thus this is canon.
I actually don't know how
is.
much. I do not know how much Sega had to do with the development, but it is a Dreamcast game, and thus it is canon because, yes.
You know, Shadow the Hedgehog thought that they were the first ones to have Sonic and guns in the same game, but
No, it was this.
The interesting thing about this fight is that you can't actually damage Zodic by shooting. You have to shoot the coins, or the rings, I'm sorry. You have to shoot the rings in order to actually deal damage to the boss.
hey, this is Sonic, not Mario.
Hurt the one thing that hurts him the most.
Ow.
And sometimes you get the, like, finger wag as well.
Yes, he does do the classic Sonic whatever I said, finger wag by accident.
We're all
There we-
tongue-tied now.
And he's dead.
Let's go.
No, you killed beloved Sega mascot Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh no, I'm gonna get canceled now by the Sonic fans.
Oh no.
Oh no.
First the puns,
Big fan
then
of
the
the coin.
cancellation.
All right.
Oh no.
Now we have the final boss. We don't run and grab any items because we can't heal in fights. So here we go. Any final donations? BigScared.
Yes, I've got a $100 donation from Bean. Thank you very much, Bean. Chat, we are just under $300, a little bit more than $280 away from the Titan Souls Formal Wear Challenge. This is your last chance. The cutoff is at the end of the run, so you have until the end of this to get your donations in and put it towards the challenge. So if you want to see it happen, make sure you do it soon.
Come on,
So-
y'all, we got this.
There are 3 bosses you can select. Cashman from level 4, Bullstinger, who we choose, and Oh No Man. According to an Illbleed guide, that is a complete and total lie, by the way, Oh No Man is the easiest boss. Oh No Man is the hardest boss.
Oh no, man. Yes. Completely ruthless and brutal.
Yes. Very brutal, very ruthless.
But yeah, this is the final boss that we chose. They give you the option to choose which final boss you'd like to fight.
It's very
Although in
nice of them.
Although in true ending we fight Eriko's father, so there's no choice there.
Yes. Spoiler.
Yes, spoiler. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the final boss in the true ending has 2 forms. It's actually a pretty tough boss fight.
Yes, it is
If
the
this
most.
boss,
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the most
I was gonna
brutal
say-
boss fight in the game.
Jinx. Jinx. We both said I was gonna say. If this boss starts like flashing colors, it means they're like healing. So you don't want to let them just stand there and start flashing colors because they will do that.
Please die. You have no health. Yay! And that is time.
First try.
Ooh.
And now prepare
First
for the
try.
most amazing ending theme ever in a video game. I dare you to find something that tops it that doesn't have lyrics. I dare you to find something.
It's a very specific
better.
restriction.
Yes. But yes, Pippi, would you like to tell the fine people where to find you?
Where to find me? Oh my gosh. I'm PippyInATopHat. I don't usually run horror games. I usually run other things. But I can be found at PippyInATopHat somewhere.
Jill, would you like to tell the fine people where they can find you?
I'm at twitch.tv/umbrellajill. I don't usually play games with coins or rings. I do play Illbleed and other stuff, but tell us about yourself, Abby,
Yeah.
the star of the show, the belle of the ball, if
Thank
you
you
will.
so much for having us both.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I am Abby. You can find me at twitch.tv/Abbiescorner. I am also a podcast host where I interview speedrunners about their speedrun history. It's called Speedrunners and Coffee. There have been many guests, including both people on my couch. As a matter of fact, the latest episode, Pippi and I switched places. Oh no, there was almost a coup. Also, you can find
I
me...
gave it back.
I am also on Twitter at Abby_Brander, co-host at Abbiescorner. Yeah, Speedrun and Coffee on Twitter because Speedrunners and Coffee was too long for Twitter, apparently. But yes, this has been Illbleed, the best game that I played last year. Sorry, Elden Ring. But don't go anywhere.
Yes!
Because there are many, many great horror runs coming up. And also, I would just like to give a quick shout out to Maxi Lobes. It's been a rough month for me, but he's been hyping me up, and I super appreciate that. Of course, I thank Jill, I thank Pippi, I thank BigScared, and many others. Also, just because I can, BigScared, tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, thank you, Abby. I can be found on twitch.tv/BigScared and in most places as either BigScared or I'm BigScared with no spaces or punctuation. You can also find me on the 19th right here on Flame Fatales running Resident Evil Village.
Whoa.
Yay! It's
Thank
gonna
you
be a great
so
run.
much. It's gonna be a great run, but I don't know if it's gonna be as great as the run we just saw. Or the run we're gonna see next, which is Titan Souls Informal Wear! We met the incentive. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you so much for raising $2,000 for Malala Fund and working together towards that goal. I am so proud of our efforts. We really smashed that incentive, and that is all you. So, we got some donations to thank. First up, $5 from Danae. Thank you so much. $50 from Anonymous. A $15 anonymous donation that says, indeed. And a $250 donation from Black Sky 003. Chat, I hope you are super stoked for Titan Souls. It's going to be a phenomenal run. Ruby Heart is going to be doing a boss rush through all of the bosses in the game, and she's going to be doing it in style, and that's because of you. Don't forget, this is not the only incentive we have today. Currently open, we have two different incentives for Signalis. So you have your choice of how you want to impact that particular run. You can either choose the category of the run. You have three options. There is the promise ending, the artifact ending, and the memory ending. Alternatively, if you don't want to choose the ending, you can help choose the costume. There are 5 options for this. The first one is a one-armed costume. It is currently in the lead with $50. The second option is our default Elster outfit. It is beautiful. You know it well from the publicity photos. Our third option is the ISA color swap. It's a beautiful palette, and if we get to see it, it is a unique twist. The fourth option is a space suit. So we can go intergalactic with this. And the final option for the costume incentive is white armor. It is pristine. It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. Up next, we are going to be having more information from our phenomenal team of folks in the prize cave. So, if you have been contributing towards this event, don't forget that $25 minimum puts you towards these prizes, and we're going to hear so much about them. Take it away.